Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Arizona Sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
The NBA season closes shop on Sunday. The draft is next Wednesday, which means the Suns are running out of tarmac to trade Kevin Durant before things get really weird and maybe very uncomfortable. In a perfect world, KD would be the first to budge because at age 37, I believe he has the most to lose. But it appears the Timberwolves do not want to extend him at the maximum rate, and that's a problem. In a perfect world, the Heat or the Rockets would give the Suns something close to fair. But here's the real horror of the situation. The image of the Phoenix Suns has never been lower. Under Robert Sarver's reign of error, there was an understanding that his issues were mostly miserly, based on penny pinching. But under Matt Ishbia, there is a growing feeling among national observers that he is cluelessly delusional and overly meddlesome. For instance, John Hollinger just called the saga a classic Phoenix bleep show and thinks the Suns believed they would get way more for KD, and now they don't know what to do. And if he feels that way, you know other NBA teams are trying to smoke out the Suns and take advantage of their inexperience. Many believe the Miami Heat will eventually strike the winning deal, but they're still 1 to 2 pieces away, and this game of chicken rolls into the weekend. And if the Suns hold firm and stand pat, if he is not traded before Wednesday's draft, then the KD saga will enter a new and dangerous phase, otherwise known as the Twilight Zone. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW. Make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
The longer this drags out, the more we're going to be talking about it. Kevin Durant's one of the best players in the league still today. He's going to go down as, top 15, top 20
50,
player
40, 90.
of all time, top 10 player of all time.
Sir.
So,
yes,
and his stats, I mean, this is what he's doing even at this age is remarkable. The Suns know if they're going to trade Kevin Durant, they clearly have a price threshold they want met. And I had one team tell me today, it's kind of a game of chicken at this point.
A game of chicken. Are we talking about chicken, like center line chicken? Or are we talking about, you ever play
like
chicken in the pool?
Oh, I don't know what that is.
That's when somebody gets on somebody else's shoulder and you have like a chicken fight.
Oh, yeah. Those are always fun.
I guess that's more chicken fight
Yeah,
than
playing chicken is like, it's the thing of, it's like the movie scenes of one dude in a car driving straight at the other dude and the other dude's driving
Rebel
at him.
without a cause.
Yeah, and somebody has to swerve away at the last minute and end up in the ditch.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then, out of shame, they leave town.
Yeah. Listen, Matt Ishbia, I'm stunned at how his image nationally and even locally has shifted so dramatically in a very, 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 very short time. And now the mockery and the ridicule continues. And if this thing goes past the NBA draft, those kind of voices are only going to get louder and louder and louder. I watched that whole John Hollinger, Nate Duncan podcast, and just the way, the facial expressions they make when talking about the Suns, the disdain, the contempt, the feeling that this team is just beyond delusional, thinking that they can actually win next year, that they can actually refit around Devin Booker by trading Kevin Durant for spare parts. Nate Duncan pointed out that he doesn't believe, aside from Devin Booker, once they trade Kevin Durant, that they'll have a top 30 player at any position. And they're saying this to illustrate this team is miles away from an NBA championship, and the only people who don't seem to know it are the people running the Suns. That's their viewpoint of it. And that's where this Kevin Durant trade at the very middle of it all is so important. I think the Suns know perceptually if they make a real kind of underwhelming deal, then a lot of people are going to be like, what the heck are you doing? And if you overplay your hand and you're stuck with Kevin Durant, and then maybe that gets really, really weird. Maybe KD takes a page out of Jimmy Butler's playbook. Maybe he doesn't. But this is a perilous time, and I got to be real honest with you. As a Phoenix Suns fan, this is really hard to watch.
It's certainly not the funnest time in team history. But let's go back to the trade deadline last February that just passed. The Suns squandered so much of their leverage for right now at that time.
Mm-hmm. Yes, by divvying up that draft pick.
Well, by trying to trade Kevin Durant at the deadline.
Well, that too.
I mean,
that too.
Reality now and the benefit of hindsight will tell you that season was not salvageable. Even if Jimmy Butler came in here with a cape on, it wasn't going to work. I'm confident in saying that.
Mm-hmm.
But they played their card there. And then it became known around the league, well, they're obviously trading Kevin Durant. Then they came out and said, when the season ended, they're going to work with Kevin Durant and his business people to try to accommodate his wishes in a trade. I mean, how many more ways can you squander your leverage? So, I've heard conflicting things on what the Suns expect back. Obviously, they want to get the most for a top 15 all-time player. Any team in that situation would want that. Mm-hmm. But I've also heard that they're kind of tempering their own expectations. Now, shooting for the moon and landing on a planet close to the moon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we'll see. We're going to get the Houston perspective from it. Adam Wexler, who's their game analyst on their television broadcast, also a talk show host in Houston. He's going to join us at 8:30.
Nice.
To me, the linchpin in all of this is still the Minnesota Timberwolves. If they decide, you know what, let's just do it. Let's extend him. Either that spurs a trade happening right away, or that also could, if there's a pause, could beef up the offers from the other teams that are hesitant to throw in a Jabari Smith Jr. or a Khalil Ware. Talking about Houston and Miami.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that would be ideal. If all of this comes down to Houston and Miami, kind of, okay, we have to throw in that extra piece for them, or he's going to go to the other place. That is what they're going to have to convincingly accomplish somehow, some way. It's so painful. I was listening to Eddie Johnson yesterday on Sirius Radio, and he was talking about what the Lakers are doing and how great Jeannie Buss did by acquiring a $10 billion price tag, and she's got a deal that's going to keep her around for a little bit and not terribly long. And Eddie had made the point that Jerry Colangelo did the same with Robert Sarver, and Eddie's lament was he wishes that Robert would have let Jerry stick around longer, because if he would have, Joe Johnson wouldn't have been traded. And Eddie's point yesterday that he made was if Joe Johnson hadn't been traded, we would have already had our first championship. I bring that up to say that from that moment till now, the hits have not stopped for us as basketball fans. The disappointment, close calls, the traumatic episodes, it's a lot. It's really, really a lot. And when you look at it from that point, when you look, from 2005 to 2025, that's 20 years of quite a roller coaster ride. And you wonder why Suns fans are so out of their minds, PTSD on social media. This has been a rough go of it. And this Kevin Durant trade symbolizes another end of another failed era.
Yeah, when you illustrate it that way, the 20 years, it seems like 90.
It does. And then you think about the close calls, that great team that nearly upset the Lakers. You lose that on a Kobe airball? What? Could be really? And then you think about the 2-0 lead against the Bucks, and those are the high points. Those aren't even the low points. Yeah,
but they feel like the low points.
Well, it's
just what's lower than the other.
Yeah, yeah. Well, as you pointed out yesterday, it's very, very hard to win championships. It's the higher you climb, the steeper it gets, and the more you are likely to fall backwards and slide down the mountain.
Yeah,
and it's a rough business. It's part of what makes it so gratifying.
Yep.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.